As you're watching this,
Hope this
Grand
bank
Theft
likes some
Auto 6
fireworks.
community is melting down, and the word on everyone's lips is the one word fans have been dreading for years:
Delayed.
but this time, it is not some faceless rumor. This time, a former Rockstar developer, a man who actually worked inside the building, has gone on record saying a delay of 6 more months is absolutely possible, pre-orders or not. And the internet lost it, because this would not be the first time. It would not even be the second time. This would be the third brutal delay of a game we have already waited over a decade for. Thousands of fans are spiraling. Comment sections are on fire, and everyone is bracing for Rockstar to break their hearts one more time and shove this game deep into 2027. So if you came here terrified, I understand completely, and I'm not going to lie to you to calm you down. There is now a real voice, with a real Rockstar background, feeding this fear. But I need you to watch this entire video before you panic, because when you hear exactly what he said, and exactly who else is on the other side of this argument, the whole picture flips. By the end, you will know whether your worst fear is real, or whether you're being scared by a possibility that was always true. Do not click away, because this one is more complicated than the headlines are telling you. To understand why this fear spreads like a virus, you have to understand the wounds underneath it, because this community is genuinely traumatized, and they earned it. Grand Theft Auto 6 has one of the most painful delay histories in modern gaming. Cast your mind back. This game was originally aimed at a fall 2025 launch, and Take-Two's own CEO stood there and said he felt confident in it. Fans believed him. Then it was ripped away, pushed to May 26, 2026. Painful, but people swallowed it. And then just when everyone had made peace with it, the hammer fell a second time, sliding it all the way to November 19th, 2026. 2 promises, 2 dates, 2 betrayals, so when I tell you this fan base is on a hair trigger, I mean it. They have been conditioned, like a nervous animal, to expect pain every single time this topic comes up. So of course, the second a real ex-developer opened his mouth about a possible delay, the entire community detonated, because in their minds, they have seen this exact movie twice, and it always ends the same way. And that raw, open wound is precisely what makes this next part so explosive. But before you let it consume you, you need to hear what this man actually said word for word, because the headline and the reality are 2 very different things. So let us talk about who this person is, because his credibility is the whole reason this blew up. His name is Mike York, and he is not some anonymous troll. He genuinely worked at Rockstar from 2012 to 2019 as an animator, contributing to games including Grand Theft Auto 5. That is a real resume. So when he speaks about how the studio operates, it carries weight. And here is the exact nature of what he claimed. York did not say he has inside information that the game is being delayed. He did not say a delay is coming. What he said is that a delay remains possible because of how obsessively Rockstar works. His logic goes like this. Rockstar refuses to ship a game until it is flawless. So if the developers get to the finish line and feel that even a single final mission needs more polish, then, in his words, they will push it 6 more months if they have to. And he added a chilling second point, that an announcement like that would not even dent pre-order sales. Because, as he put it, they can do whatever they want and people will wait right now. It does not matter. Read that carefully. Because this is the key. He is not describing a plan. He is describing a personality. He is saying that Rockstar's perfectionism is so extreme that a delay is always on the table right up until the very end. That is a very different thing from saying it is actually happening. And this is where the panic starts to lose its grip, because a possibility is not a prediction. Now here's the part. The fear-mongers conveniently leave out the mountain of hard evidence standing on the other side, because it is enormous. Start with the most powerful source that exists. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick, as recently as mid-July, told investors that the November 19th debut is still, in his word, planned. Rockstar's own website, right this second, still says coming November 19th, 2026. Sony's PlayStation Store says the same. Every official channel is pointing at the same day. But statements are cheap. So here's the detail that turns this into a financial handcuff, the thing that should genuinely settle your nerves. Take-Two has bet its entire future on this date. In its official guidance to investors, the company is forecasting a staggering $8 to $8.2 billion for the fiscal year, a monstrous jump of nearly 20%, and Zelnick directly tied that record-shattering number to the November 19th launch. They did not just circle a date on a calendar, they welded it to an $8 billion promise made directly to Wall Street. And it is not just executives. The prediction markets, the places where people bet real money on outcomes like this, barely flinched at the marketing pause. with bettors on sites like Polymarket staying confident the date holds. So on one side, you have a former animator describing Rockstar's perfectionist tendencies. On the other, you have the CEO, the official storefronts, an $8 billion forecast, and the people literally putting money on the line, all saying November. And this is why that financial detail matters so much more than any single voice, because it is the heart of the entire argument. When a public company like Take-Two prints a number like $8 billion in its official investor guidance, that number carries real legal weight. If they secretly knew the game was slipping deep into 2027 and kept that forecast standing anyway, they would be marching into the kind of territory that gets companies sued and investigated. Misleading investors is not a slap on the wrist. And here is the elegant wrinkle that ties it together. York specifically said 6 months. 6 months from November 19th lands you around May of 2027, and a delay of that size might still technically fall close to the edge of their fiscal window, which is exactly why York's specific number is not the same doomsday scenario as the wild 2027 and beyond fears. But even a 6-month slip would gut that record forecast and trigger the precise investor meltdown Take-Two has spent 2 years desperately avoiding. So they have every possible incentive to hit this date, and they have boxed themselves in on purpose. The trap has a name, and it is November 19th. Now, the honest catch, because I will never hide it from you. York is not wrong that Rockstar's perfectionism is real, and there is genuinely a documented history of this studio delaying games over polish, sometimes tied to brutal internal crunch. That is the one door that stays open. A last-minute problem, a mission that is not ready, a bug they refuse to ship. It is the only scenario even the optimists leave room for. But notice something crucial. There is currently zero evidence that this is actually happening. York described a possibility rooted in Rockstar's nature, not a leak of an actual decision. That distinction is everything. So let us bring this home, because this was never really about a date. It is about learning to tell a possibility apart from a prophecy. Right now, a respected former Rockstar developer has reminded everyone that this studio is perfectionist enough to delay anything at any time for the sake of quality. That is true, and it is worth taking seriously. But against that single general warning stands a wall of specific, verifiable, accountable evidence. The CEO reconfirming November, the official website, the PlayStation Store, an $8 billion financial forecast bolted to the launch, and prediction markets refusing to blink. When you line those two things up honestly, the fear starts to shrink back down to its real size. Could Rockstar's obsession with polish still force a delay? Yes, in theory, and I would never pretend otherwise. But panicking today, canceling your pre-order today, spiraling today, means treating a general statement about Rockstar's personality as if it were a confirmed announcement, and it is not. The date is still written in ink, backed by billions of dollars and the word of everyone legally accountable for it. So take a breath. Do not let a headline about what could happen convince you it already has. Every real official signal we have still says the same thing. You're going to Vice City in November. If you want to know exactly what launch day is going to look like and whether the servers can even survive the flood of players, watch the video on your screen right now. And subscribe, because the second any real word drops about this release date from a real source, we are breaking it down first, right here.